TV. You are watching UCU Focus.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special episode of UCU Sports Focus Extra on UCU Focus TV. I am your host, Ian Asabo, and we are live from the UCU e-learning center, where today we get to make history. And by this I mean we get to conduct the first ever Interfaculty Draws of the 2023 January semester tournament. I am going to give you a brief rundown of how we are going to progress today, and then hopefully the special guests here with me to my left, we have Wesonga John Collins, who is the current and incoming sports minister. We have Mr. Damba Timothy, who is the guild president, and the deputy speaker, that is Emma Edom, who will have their own time to be able to address us and make this even a more special occasion on what this is going to be a day that is remembered long in history. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be 8 participating teams in this interfaculty tournament. I have been a graduate, or I have been participating in these tournaments. I have participated in a few during my time here, and it was a fantastic experience, and it is my honor to be able to bring you the draws live on Sports Focus Extra, the one university sports show that is dedicated to everything university sports. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, you're very much welcome to this show, and those inside here, I am really grateful that you're here today. So, before we can go anywhere, I would like to bring the sports minister, that is Mr. Wesonga John Collins. He's not only the sports minister, but he's also the UCU #1, and I mean safe hands, as we love to call him here. So John Collins, you're welcome.
Good afternoon to everyone. I go by the names of Wesonga John Collins, the incoming sports minister, and we're here for the draws, interfaculty draws. Yeah, I thank everyone for coming here. I thank the president and the good government for organizing this. I thank UCU Focus TV for coming along with us. I just expect the best out of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That is the sports minister, Mr. Wesonga John Collins, who will help us later on in the show with the draws. So just a quick reminder, there are going to be 8 participating faculties during this tournament, and if I could run through them quickly, there's going to be engineering, design and technology, there's going to be health sciences and education, there's going to be mass communication, there's going to be theology, social sciences, Faculty of Law, the Faculty of Business, as well as Agricultural Sciences. And just a twist, for the first time ever during the Interfaculty Tournament Games, we are going to have 3 different sports participating. It has never happened before. There's always been, I won't say bias, but there's always been the domination of that is football, but this time things have changed. There are going to be 3 sports going to be taking part in this tournament. There's going to be football as usual, that is going to be for the men. There's going to be basketball for both the ladies and the men. You know how they have been performing, as a university, the national champions, I'll put it out there. And there's going to be netball for the ladies as well. So just to reiterate my point, this is a history-making moment. And just to even make it more special, I'd like to invite the guild president, the newly elected guild president, Mr. Damba Timothy, to share his thoughts ahead of this incoming tournament. Mr. President, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon to all of us here. Thank you for coming, for joining us today as we participate in the draws of the interfaculty tournament that is upon us. Yes, a big shout out to UCU Focus TV and to the UCU administration, and most of all to the 25th Guild government that has decided to take up this mantle of reviving the interfaculty sports tournament, but with a twist. As we say, with our government, we are redefining impact, and that is what we are doing, starting with the interfaculty tournament. Maybe to speak a bit about what we are doing, what interfaculty tournament is about. we are going to have 3 sports this time around. We've always had just football, but this time we shall have football, as Mr. Ian talked about. We shall have football for the men, basketball for the ladies and the men as well, and then we shall have netball for the ladies. We shall have different faculties participating, and we are going to pick the draws today, guided by our incoming sports minister. And this tournament will span 4 weeks. Now, it is not just going to be about sports. We shall have several things that are going to be part of this tournament, under the theme of constructing unity from our diversity. You see, UCU has so many different faculties, and these faculties have different ways of doing their things. But it's about time that we not only celebrate the fact that we are different, because it's important that we are different, but what is more important is that we are one as UCU family. So that is what the tournament is going to be about, constructing unity from our diversity. And when we unite, then we can take on the challenges that face us as a community, challenges that can be easily solved if we stand against them together. And one of the biggest challenges we are facing is tuition. And that is why during this period, we shall have fun t-shirts. T-shirts that will be based on faculty colors. So we shall have black for engineering, we shall have gray for law, we shall have green for divinity, white for agriculture, and so on and so forth. So these different colors will be bought by us, the students, at a small amount. And part of that amount, the profits made from the shirt sales will go to the Guild Fund. And as we all know, this fund, the Guild Fund, is to support those students that are suffering with tuition. And it all goes back to the one thing, constructing unity from our diversity. So as we participate in the games, as we buy the t-shirts, as we support our players, we should know that we are also supporting that one student who's struggling to stay in school. As we begin as well, we shall have the bazaar. As we've always had year in, year out, we've had the Guild Bazaar. The bazaar will be within the tournament period. As I say, the tournament will be 4 weeks. And one of those weeks, we shall have the bazaar where we shall have fun, buy products, and share happiness. Whereas we shall have the fun festival as well, and we shall talk a little bit more on that later. But this is where we shall participate with each other, face painting, and all kinds of games, indoor, outdoor, as we support our different faculties in the tournament. But briefly, that's it, and we shall have the fixtures soon, the draws soon, and as we wait to celebrate together as a community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. President, Mr. Timothy Damba. That has really touched me to a point, because having been here during my time, where we only had football, and it was a certain period of time. But you talking about the fact that we are going to have different activities like the fun festival, the bazaar, as well as the fun t-shirts that we're going to be able to buy as different faculties to be able to support the students that are be able to pay tuition. That is something that is unique in its own right, and all credit goes to your government, that is the 25th Guild government, and hopefully we could have a successful tournament and try and see what your plan is as a government to envision that everything runs smoothly. So, ladies and gentlemen, just before we go any further, I would like to point out that as we hold these draws, we are going to hold the draw actually once, but we're going to hold the draw for 2 groups. There are 8 teams participating in this tournament, but there are going to be 2 groups, that is A and B. We are going to have several dignitaries of every faculty that is participating to be able to come, pick a paper, and be able to show the faculty that, pick a paper, and then as a sports minister will explain further on down the road. But my point is that we're going to hold 1 draw, and those draws are going to work out for 3 sports. So basically, we're going to have 1 draw, but it's going to run through across 3 sports. So before we can dwell into much more, Mr. Osonga John Collins, please join me here so that we can officially have the launch of the draws.
Thank you so much, my host Ian Asabo. We are here for the draws. So we have 8 registered teams, that is the School of Law, School of Business, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Social Sciences and Education, We joined these two teams because the education guys are off semester and only have the head guys on. So we were trying to move over, find a way to get these guys in, and decided to join them with the health sciences guys. So they actually formed one team. We have the Faculty of Engineering, Design and Technology. We also have Mass Com. Yeah. We have 3 games involved. That is basketball for both men and women. We have football for men, and we also have netball for the ladies. We are going to conduct our draws today, right now, and it's going to be in this manner. We are going to call a representative from any faculty randomly. You'll come, pick up a paper from this trophy, then show it to the order. Yeah, that's it. So I hope you are ready. We are here to go. First is Faculty of Agriculture Sciences. Please step forward.
The dignitary for Faculty of Agriculture, please step forward. You can pick the paper, and then we can get to see who the first entrant is of the Interfaculty Tournament 2023.
You can check, choose a randomly, shake it all.
How many groups are there? 2 groups. So anyway, them group A.
This is for Group A.
Engineering, Design and Technology, that is Group A1.
Group A1, Engineering, Design and Technology.
Engineering, Design and Technology has a rich history in the Interfaculty Tournament. They have participated in so many tournaments, and they have been winners on several occasions, and definitely one of the favorites heading into these competitions. They have on record the most number of students during my time that I was here participating in the tournament. So picking a team won't be easy, but hopefully they'll be able to pick the cream de la cream and have a successful tournament. Over to you, Mr. Sports Minister.
Thank you so much. So we are going to Group B, and then I'm going to call the representative of the School of Law. Please step forward. This is for Group B1.
Group B1, Journalism and Mass Communication. The May 2019 champions of the Interfaculty Tournament make another return to this special edition, and they find themselves in Group B1. Mass Communication have a rich history in participating in this tournament. I was a central defender for the Mass Communication faculty during my time here, and I'm so glad that I'll be able to participate in Group B1. So there it is, Mass Com and Journalism, Group B1. Over to you.
Thank you so much. You say they were champions of 2015.
2019, May 2019, yes.
All right. We hope they can defend it once again. Then we are going to have a representative from the School of Social Sciences.
School of Theology. Why, where do I start? In recent tournaments, on to a down note, the School of Theology hasn't participated quite well in these tournaments. They have been the whipping boys of previous tournaments, but hopefully this year they will be able to pull out a positive result and make themselves and make their presence felt in this tournament. So School of Theology, Group A2. Thank you.
I'm here to witness the power of prayer, because these are our dads here, and yeah, I'm here to witness this. I want to see them win this. So, moving on to the next, you're going to have a representative from the School of Business.
that is social sciences. Well, the School of Social Sciences have also had somewhat mixed fortunes in this tournament, where they have made it to the knockout stages in one edition and then finish bottom in their group in the next. So hopefully a little bit of more consistency as they join mass communication in Group B. They are selected as Group B2 entrants. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see. This is really interesting. I know there are some people who are waiting to see their teams, the law guys, the business guys. We know, but let's wait. I also have my own prayers, but let's wait and see how it goes.
As the sports minister, why would you have your own prayers?
No,
Yes.
I want to see competition. That's why.
All right, all right.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next. Let's have a representative from Moscow.
That is agricultural sciences. Agricultural sciences are making their first ever appearance in the Interfaculty Games, and hopefully they can leave us with a tournament to remember. They are selected in Group A3 and will join engineering and the School of Theology.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Mascom. Thank you, everyone, because I know this is all hosted by the Mascom guys, and yeah, hope for the best. Next, let's have a representative from theology.
That is the Faculty of Law. What can I say about law? The perennial favorites heading into every tournament. For a fact, they normally have 3 to 4 teams ready to actually participate in this tournament, but there's always been a history of the teams colliding with each other, and hopefully they can be able to get past that and form a formidable team to be able to out the favorites, that is business as well as engineering. On paper, they come in as the third favorite team, and they join mass communication and social sciences in Group B. They are Group B3 seeded.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I also can't wait to witness something, to witness victory. But let's move on. Let's have a representative from the Faculty of Engineering, Design and Development.
Business. The Faculty of Business are currently, or I say in quotes, the defending champions. They won the last edition of the Interfaculty Games that were held here at Uganda Christian University by defeating engineering in the final by 1-0. Most of the team isn't around at the moment, but by virtue as being defending champions, we can consider them as favorites. So business will join Group A, where they find themselves against engineering, a rematch of the final of the last edition, the School of Theology, as well as Agricultural Sciences. So they are drawn in Group A as Group A4.
Thank you so much. Just a reminder, these guys started preparing last year in November. They had pre-season training, they've had friendlies, they've done everything. So I'm waiting to see. But football is fun. We all went to Brazil, they have the best team. And last, we only have one member remaining here and one pick. So I'd love to call a representative from the School of Nursing and Education.
Last but not least, we have health sciences and education. Well, these two combined faculties, and I know for a fact that education during the past editions have been a very strong force, reaching the final of the August 2019 edition, where they unfortunately lost in the final. But the fact that they are in cohesion with health sciences gives them a boost as they try and regain the Interfaculty Championship. Well, they're in Group B, Health, and Group B joining Mass Communication, Social Sciences, and the Faculty of Law. Just a recap of these draws. Thank you, Mr. Sports Minister, for helping me conduct the draw. Just a recap of the draws. As I've already mentioned. In Group A, we have engineering, we have theology, we have agriculture and business. In Group B, we have mass communications, we have social sciences, we have law, and last but not least, we have health sciences and education. Over to you.
I know so many people are wondering why you have the health sciences guy combined with the education. Yeah, the reason is as to why. Most of the education guys are off sale, and we have a few that are around, most especially the students. So they wanted them to get involved in this competition and take it to some level. That's why we decided, we looked around, they couldn't form a team, so we decided to join them with the health sciences guys. So we're going to have our teachers and our nurses combined. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sports Minister, Mr. Wesonga Collins, for presiding over the draws of the Interfaculty tournament. And I see quite a few intriguing fixtures, just like in Group A, we have the rematch of the final, as already mentioned, between engineering and business. In Group B, we have the derby, as we love to call it, between mass communication and law. I don't know why it is called a derby, but it is a derby in our eyes, and definitely those are some of the fixtures that have been trying to earmark, and hopefully this is going to be a successful tournament, as Mr. President highlighted. As I mentioned earlier, these groups, Group A and B, these are going to be groups that are running for 3 different sports. We have the football, we have the basketball that is for men and the women, and we have netball that is for ladies. So the confirming participants going to participate in these games, please get ready. It is going to be a long and hard grueling tournament as you try and represent your faculties, and may the best team win. And just before I hand over to the next speaker, this is a special initiative from UCU Focus TV, and mainly us, the Sports Focus team. We are going to have what they call the play of the week. You're going to decide to vote for the play of the week. You as the fans, you're going to go on Twitter, you're going to vote for the play of the week, irrespective of the sport, and you're going to hashtag, that is Sports Focus, that is UCU Focus TV, as you try and create a unique blend and try and have the fun and more experience dedicated and more power dedicated to that is the fun. So keep that in mind as the tournament does begin. Just before we have our next speaker, I would like to introduce our next speaker, and that is the Deputy Speaker of the 25th Guild Government, that is Mr. Imadonu. You're welcome. Please, the floor is yours.
All protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. It's such a great honor to be before you this afternoon, and I am so overjoyed and exceedingly humbled to see that all faculties have turned up and the house is filled to the brim. It's not something we take for granted. And just as the previous speaker said, His Excellency talked about our theme this year, purposely to happen. What we are focusing on in the interfaculty is redefining impact as a theme of the Guild Government. But as a tournament, we are constructing unity from our diversity. And we have a couple of exciting activities that are going to happen as the interfaculty is taking place. But I hope you now know the different groups that you're in. So go prepare your teams and let the best team win. Yeah, let the best team win. I personally, I don't want to take sides, but all I know is that the best team is going to win. I want to thank so much UCU Focus TV for the great initiative. This is the first ever kind of draws happening, if I'm not mistaken, in the whole of East Africa, having an inter-university draw happening for an inter-faculty tournament. This is a milestone for UCU Focus TV. This is a milestone for the UCU 25th Guild Government. This is a milestone for Uganda Christian University. We are the center of excellence in the heart of Africa, and I am so proud of each and every one of us who is here, because digitalization is taking up the space. And so we have to use whatever strategies that are in place to ensure that we run all our activities so smoothly. So I want to encourage you players that let's ensure unity. You know all the rules that are going to come out from the Ministry of Sports. But above all, I want us to remain having a spirited fight and always be united in whatever we do. I want to thank you all for coming. Once again, thank you UCU Focus TV and our host Ian for such a wonderful presentation. I heard you have a lot of records here, theology. They are not so rich in history, but who knows? Let the best team win, as I say. So I don't want to take much of your time. Our time is for much spent. I want to thank you once again, each and everyone who is represented in this building. But before we close this ceremony, allow me to take it back to the Guild President to make a few communications. That was all I had for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker. I am sure that the best team will win. We've seen the groups and I'm excited. I hope you're all ready to perform. We are ready to perform and win in our different faculties. Before we close, I would like to thank a few important individuals, because Interfaculty right now is going to be an event, but it's more than an event. It is history, and we're just putting a branch on the tree that has already been there. And so we have to thank the roots. And I'd like to thank His Excellency Amanya Bruce and his government, because they organized the last Interfaculty tournament before now. I'd like to thank His Excellency Kadaga, His Excellency Aponda, and Her Excellency Rachel Serada, because of their organizing of the Guild Run and different events. We have borrowed a few techniques here and there, and we have tried and we are going to implement an interfaculty tournament that has not been seen before, a festival that has not been seen before, as we hope to redefine impact. But above all, for this season, as we are also learning from UCU Focus TV and all affiliated parties, we are constructing unity from our diversity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is Mr. Emma O'Donnell, the Deputy Speaker of the 25th Government, as well as the President, that is Mr. Timothy Damba, for that communication. And just to summarize all that in a nutshell, well, UCU Sports Focus under UCU Focus TV is trying to change the game and trying to change the culture in a way that has not been done before, as the speaker mentioned. We have held the first live draws ever in East Africa, you were actually correct, of the Interfaculty Draws, and we're trying to change a sports culture in universities that has not been seen before. And just to highlight that, UCU, and that is Sports Focus, as a Sports Focus as a team, we are going to be covering the UCU Interfaculty Tournament with in-depth analysis. Don't forget to also catch, that is the sports show every Wednesday. We will hold Sports Focus every Wednesday, as well as Sports Focus Extra, just like we have had the episode today. We are going to be having highlights of the various games. We are going to have interviews, pre-match, post-match from the different technical teams and different players before each and after every game, so that we can bring more to you, the viewer, so you can be able to follow your team as well. Just a quick announcement. I've just got communication from the Sports Minister that the fixtures will indeed be released tomorrow morning. So keep it here on UCU Focus TV. You will have all the fixtures brought to you by the time you actually wake up tomorrow morning. As I conclude, I just want to remind you all that this Friday, we're going to have a premiere of My Background by our producers. Actually, this is a film made by our producers, that is Emma Ilungule and Brian Kabogoza. They have been doing the hard work, and hopefully this Friday you can be able to come to Nkoroyo Hall and be able to support them as they premiere their film, that is UCU My Background. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, those who have tuned in online, and those who are in here, thank you for coming. I am your host, Ian Asabo, and that's a wrap.
You are watching UCU